So across the world, a lot of people are talking about xenophobia in different establishments, different institutions, different homes. People have different things to say about it. And of course, as you're watching me right now, you fall into one of two categories. Like me, you could either belong to that category that is just a spectator, is there watching this event unfold on the streets of South Africa, or you belong to the other category who are actually caught in the middle of this whole xenophobia issue, the pain, the loss they have had to suffer. I say this because I know some Nigerians who have come back home, complain about all the property, the assets, the things they had to leave behind during the evacuation back to Nigeria for the safety of their lives. But whichever category that you belong to, you'll agree with me that it has left a lot of pain in its wake. Well, anyone could say it's basically for undocumented migrants. So if you have your papers, you have your documents, you have no fear. The truth is, in situations like this, cases could degenerate and affect those that are not supposed to be affected. There has been a lot of call from people from different quarters that the African Union should do something about this. The ECOWAS should do something about it. Okay, recently, during the 69th ECOWAS Summit in Freetown, Sierra Leone, the president of Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu, represented by his vice president, Senator Shetima, during his speech in the course of that summit, call for all African nations to come together with one voice and speak against xenophobia.
I wish to join Ghana in strongly condemning the Afrophobic attacks on its citizens and other fellow Africans in the Republic of South Africa. While we tread the path of moderation, South Africa needs to be reminded that the freedom the country currently enjoys is due to the liberation efforts of African countries such as Nigeria and Ghana. They should learn to know where their problem lies. Their problem does not lie with fellow Africans.
Every day that we wake up, we see this event unfold on our screen. We see a lot of people say different things about what is actually happening on the streets of South Africa. So, my team and I painstakingly decided to go out there and talk to some people, some Nigerians who have been caught in the middle of this and who understand where the shoe actually pinches them. We were able to speak to some of them. All of the persons we spoke to have their documents. They are legal migrants resident in South Africa as we speak, and they have a lot of things to say. Believe me when I say you don't want to miss this. You want to listen to them, to their experience. This time, not about what the media or the news is saying about xenophobia, but what the people over there have experienced so far. Some of these people, some of these Nigerians that we spoke with who are residents in South Africa, they fear for their lives. And because they are not sure, they decided they do not want their faces to show since they're still residents in South Africa. So I want you to pay attention to their voices and listen to what they have to say.
Welcome to the conversations.
Your experience, as someone who is staying over there, how this xenophobia thing is coming along. Is it as bad as we're seeing it, that they're making it look like, so much that the Nigerian government has started evacuating people?
No, it's not as bad as it is on social media, actually, So most times when these things happen, it's actually based on propaganda towards South Africa, because we know that majorly South African people, they don't really like Nigerians because of the way maybe some of our brothers were here before us. I think those that came early, those around, the time of 1990 something, those ones that came here earlier before, they have tarnished the image of Nigeria by a lot of things they were doing, So, and when we got here, some of us that are doing legitimate business, they can still not believe us because they say that's how everyone used to say, So, but when it comes to the issue of xenophobia in South Africa, it's not as bad as the social media is showing it to everyone. Because I think those that are going back home, that the government is repatriating back to Nigeria. Those that are going back home by the help of Nigerian government. I think those ones, they were frustrated already before the incident. I think some of them, let me not say all of them, because there will be some that sometimes this xenophobia will affect in terms of their businesses, because somehow businesses are the hotspot where these match and match people, where they go, and sometimes every day when they go and protest everywhere, I think anywhere they go, it will be affected due to there won't be a business operation and all that. So that has affected the operating business and all that. So it doesn't allow us to even do our business in the normal way we used to do. So that's how I can say it affected us somehow, but not that they are killing Nigerians. You understand? Because some of our brothers that died, some are actually related to their death. Their deaths are not related to xenophobic attack in South Africa. Some had issues with the dealings they do with their fellow brothers or their colleagues, whatever they do in South Africa, the way they live in this country. So the way they live in this country also determines how they are so, open to danger. Because if you are just living anyhow, you are just a street person. You're living your life on a daily basis by meeting up with gangsters and all that. We have problems. And one of our brothers that died, I think I was told, I think he died through the police people. I think the police were trying to enforce laws by going to his house, searching his apartment. I think somebody gave them the information about what the guy that died was dealing with. I think they say he was dealing with drugs. So the drugs that he was dealing with, they were trying to enter his apartment. So he was dragging with police. So I think when they were trying to force him to enter into his place, that's how he lost his life. So it wasn't like maybe he was stabbed on the road or by the match and match people. So, and our other brother also that died, he was shot by unknown gunmen. We don't know who did that. So, but yeah, we just saw that. But I've been here for 17 years. And I get my document right, everything is right. I have my established business. And where I have my business is a proper place for business. Because some of our brothers have problems due to the nature of business they are doing. Some will have business in a place where it is not for business, actually. Maybe the police will go there, they will say this place is not for business. Then they want to enforce law or to evacuate them from that place. Then they may have problem with their businesses. So I think those are the experiences we've been facing. And they say they don't want illegal immigrants in their country. They say we should go fix our country. We cannot actually blame them for that. So we should blame our government. Our government should be blamed because of the way they have made us to be dispersed all over the world. So I think that's what I can just say. But it's not easy for Nigerians here. Majority of Nigerians stay in South Africa. There's no job, no employment in South Africa. That's the fact. There's no job. I think there's much opportunity in Nigeria for less privileged than being in South Africa. But the only thing that attracts the minds of many immigrants is that the development, I think the infrastructures, the beauty of the country, the way everything is in order. So it will attract your mind that this is a good place to be, not knowing that how will you survive. So your survival is very important. So by coming into South Africa without having a job, without having things to do, you will be forced to be a criminal. Because you will want to survive. And maybe someone will just tell you, do this, let's do that. And that's how criminality takes place. So it's not advisable for any Nigerian. You can visit and South Africa. We can come. Like even Nigeria want to travel, you can come to South Africa for tourism, but not for job opportunity. So not for job opportunity, because the opportunity here is very low. You can't even have that privilege of getting employment. I mean, proper employment. So that's why you see. But many of Nigerian brothers, people that have been here, you have spent a lot on visas and all that. You cannot just go back home. Immediately you get here, maybe some of them even sell their properties to come to South Africa.
Very true.
Yeah, so now you get here, when you get here, to go back home becomes difficult. So you want
it's like
so you say, I don't want to face the shame. If I go back home now, what will they be saying about me? So I think the shame will make them to just stay here. Some are even, homeless, staying in the church, looking for help and all that. Some, their mental health, like people here, majority of Nigerians stay here, are living a very stressful life.
The few that if these people should go from their country, they will have enough jobs to go around for them. But I listened to a video, an interview by Joseph Malema Vincent, and he said that yes, they need all these undocumented migrants to leave South Africa. But he also mentioned the fact that the unemployment rate in South Africa is quite high. I don't think that even if all these migrants and all these foreigners are forced to go out, the job will still not be there. That, as far as he's concerned, it doesn't solve the unemployment problem that they are facing in South Africa, but that the people are just angry because they have a lot of undocumented migrants. So I'm trying to say, I think you have a point that when you're saying that South Africa might not be as wonderful as a lot of people think, and then they sell all their property from Nigeria.
Yes, it is not actually. It is not. It is absolutely not. Like, it's not worth it for anybody coming from Nigeria to sell his property and to come and start living in South Africa. It's not now. You can't do that now. It's not good for you, because the opportunity, the only I can say majorly the problem in Nigeria is insecurity at the moment. If the insecurity could be over, I think majority of us that have been here in South Africa, like someone like me, I wouldn't mind taking my business back to my country, because there's no need to be here where you are not loved. Nigerians are not loved. It's obvious. Everyone sees that. So we are just managing to integrate ourselves into the system and try to please them and all that. But for how long will you do that? So it's not worth it for any young Nigerian coming from Nigeria to come and locate, to start living in South Africa. It's not good. You can't even say you want to do business or whatsoever. So
a quick one. I have another question for you, Penny. And that question is, when issues like this arise, where people, where there's unrest, and then sometimes when there's unrest, we all know that sometimes maybe hoodlums, thugs, and the wrong set of people can hijack that unrest or protest, and then they go beyond the scope of the people that started the march in the first place. So what I'm trying to say is, yes, the initial plan, even by the time they set that deadline of June 30 for all undocumented migrants to leave South Africa, what they had in mind, the target was to get the undocumented migrants out of South Africa. But situations like that usually degenerate, and then even the innocent ones are affected. When this whole thing was going on, how did it make you feel, knowing that, yes, I have my people, you have your papers complete, you're a legal resident there? Did it make you feel unsafe or scared to go out to do your business? as usual.
Yes. It really affects one's mentally, because it's not good for you to see that the country you are building investment, like you are having an investment in, and you see the way these people always go around and start entering your businesses, asking you for the document, even when they are not the security agencies. So, it's very bad. Like, you will not feel good about it, and it gives you, like, it makes you to feel like this is an eye opener for you. Like, in future, you cannot encourage anyone to set up any business in South Africa, any small scale business in South Africa, because it's not good, it's not safe. You will not be able to run your business. For the time they have started the match and match thing, I think for that June, the 1 of June is, it was so scary. So it was so scary that you could not even able to go do your business in a normal way. So, and that will affect you. You think like, what this country have for me? You see that, no, it's not promising. So the best way is that you have to plan for relocation. But sometimes it depends on the nature of the business you are doing. The business you are doing, some business, like for instance, I run the spare parts business. It's not something I can sell immediately and say I'm relocating. It will take you a while before you can get anyone that can buy it. You will end up losing money actually, but it's worth it. You have to save. You have to be safe. So it's not good. That's how they do, because when it happens like that, I think towards every election in South Africa, it usually happens like this.
So do you think that, because I have gotten this same opinion from another Nigerian resident in South Africa, do you think that the opposition is somehow sponsoring this whole xenophobia issue? Because it's election.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do very much. I do believe that this thing is political motivation. It's not something that someone can just wake up in a day and decide to do this match and match thing. So it's very political. So I think they are doing this because they know it's the major topic that South African people will like to hear. If they say we don't want foreigners anymore, any young party, any new party that wants to arise, the only thing that they can do is just to say, we want to clean our country. We want these foreigners to leave our country. So, and everybody will support them. So they can be able to get a seat at the parliament. So I think that's what they do. They have different people that are doing this. They have the one of Dudula before. They have this one of Match and Match also came up all of a sudden. We couldn't believe it that it could be like this, but they are doing it. And the government says their constitutional right to protest, which is true. But the way they do it is just too much for foreigners.
I quite agree with you. But how would you describe, in your own words and your experience, how would you describe South Africa? I mean, before this whole xenophobia thing started in June, before then, how would you describe South Africa? A peaceful place, a promising place for anyone to come to?
Yes, I will describe South Africa. For me personally, it's a great place for me, but not in a general way for everyone. You understand it, because it depends on how I've been privileged in South Africa. I studied here, I went to school here and all that. And I started a better life here, I have family here. So those experiences could make me say, no, I love South Africa, what it has, impacted me to be. But in a general way, if I have to advise anybody, I will not tell anyone to say South Africa is great for you to live in. It's not. So it's better, like for me, it's a good place for now, not actually like a place that I still love to live in anymore. I have the permanent residence of South Africa. I have 3 kids here, and their future, I know they have future because their mothers are foreigners, are South Africans. So, but I will not say for me, there's future here for me, no. So, and if needs to be in future, I have to relocate back to Nigeria as well.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate the time you have spent, taking us through your experience in South Africa and the real situation on ground. But one thing I just pray for is that someday this doesn't degenerate. Yes, it all started as probably a little of propaganda and ulterior motive behind it, maybe some cabal behind it that have a certain goal they want to achieve. But I hope that someday, because I see it is recurring again, it's something that has happened in the past. I hope it doesn't degenerate to the point that they wouldn't care anymore, be you documented or undocumented. I hope it doesn't get to that time. Has that ever crossed your mind?
Yes, it affects everyone actually. Not even, for instance, if this much and much people ask me, maybe they stop me on the road and they ask for my document. Actually, I'm not going to provide them my document. The only thing I will tell them is I'm illegal, in order for them to handle me to police. Until when police comes, I will be able to tell them that I have the South African ID. Because if you are a foreigner,
Yeah, I'm with you. I was going to ask, why do you prefer to tell them you're illegal instead of just showing them your papers?
You cannot show them the paper because these people will still tell you that your papers are fake. And they can even tear your document. So if they tear your ID, your document, then you're doomed, you know. So that's why the wise way to do things is that if you don't actually wait for them to come towards you, but if they come, maybe by accident, just tell them, hand me over to, okay, I want to go back home. You can take me to police or immigration. So when they take you to immigration or police station, then you can now speak to the police there. Here is my ID. Because the ID you are having, they don't feel good about it that if you have an ID and they that are citizens also having the same ID that you are holding.
So it gets them angry.
Yeah, they get frustrated and angry and they can do anything to you. So that will even make them angry more. To make them angry more. So it's better for you to use wisdom when you are caught at that incident. Just tell them, okay, hand me over to the police. I'm sorry. I'm also preparing to go back to my country. So when they take you back when they take you to the police, they will be shouting at you and just be begging them. Then after that, you can tell the police that, okay, you can verify me. Here's my ID. This is what I do for a living.
That's a course of wisdom. Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate the time that you've spent with me trying to dissect.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you very much.
So the next time when we speak again, you have a beautiful day.
So watch out for my next video. And one way you can do that is to, after watching this, make sure you like, drop your comment, and subscribe to my channel. Please don't forget to turn on notification so that when I drop the video, you'll be notified. I promise you, you're going to really enjoy them.